Hey, what's up guys? Imagine getting reincarnated into a dating sim where you're actually the hidden final boss, destined to be defeated by the protagonist. You try to live a quiet life, however, on the first day of the academy, you're forced to reveal in front of all the students that you've reached the max level, 99. With that, and causing a commotion with your dark magic, the main character now has her sights set on you. This is the fun, wacky, exciting story of Villainess level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. If you're new to the series, watch my last video where I cover how Yumiella was reincarnated into this world, isolated and outcasted by all her classmates, to where she meets Patrick, her potential love interest. It'll be linked in the description, but otherwise, in this video, we watch Yumiella get caught up in Eleonora's antics, and the end of the school year party, where she gets to dance with Patrick. Ooh. So let's get started and watch the story unfold. Winter has come, and so too is Yumiella's first year at the academy coming to an end. People have grown only more scared of her since the martial arts competition, putting her loner status on full display, except for the only one who's willing to tell her good morning, her dear acquaintance, Patrick Ashbatten. Yumiella can't even remember the last time she spoke to anyone but Patrick. As he sits next to her, she's relieved not having had to deal with Alicia or the conquerable characters in a while. Until now, with Edwin already starting the day by accusing Yumiella of stealing Alicia's belongings. Yumiella tells him she doesn't know anything about Alicia's missing stuff, but Edwin doubles down, saying she's better off confessing now rather than getting exposed later. Patrick stands up for Yumiella abruptly, telling Edwin it's not right to assume someone is guilty without any evidence. God, it's like he's the only other classmate who's sensible. Edwin accepts this and replies, there is someone else he thinks might be doing it then. He decides to go investigate this other person first. However, Patrick tries to stop Edwin because he wants Edwin to fairly interrogate him as well. But Edwin leaves, saying there's no way Patrick could ever be guilty of something like this. In the game, Yumiella is the one who bullies Alicia. However, our Yumiella would never do something like that. There are many others who dislike Alicia though, because she's a commoner, because she's close to the prince and his buddies. If the bullying escalates and Alicia stops coming to school, it could halt her leveling progress, which means it's time for Yumiella to go on a stake and find the perpetrator. In the evening, we see a girl running to Alicia's desk, about to take one of her textbooks, but not before Yumiella calls out to her, and the girl screams upon seeing Yumiella stuck to the ceiling like she's Spider-Man. Yumiella jumps down and the girl begs her not to kill her, which leaves Yumiella to ask herself, just how evil do they think she is? The girl then snitches, exposing Miss Eleonora as the puppeteer pulling the strings. Something Yumiella wasn't expecting, but I expect you've already liked this video and subscribed to my channel. What? You haven't? Why not? Especially when I'm covering fun villainous anime like this one. I even have a whole playlist you can watch. If you subscribe, I get to share more with you. In Eleonora's room, the girl plays dumb, opening with, "And you think I ordered her to do that? Oh my gosh," as she sips tea. But no. Yumiella simply states she's here to tell Eleonora her friend was doing something bad, and the blue-haired girl admitted doing it of her own free will. However, if Prince Edwin were to hear about this, he might think this girl was acting under Eleonora's orders. And upon hearing this, Eleonora gasps lightly. Yumiella then adds she doesn't think Eleonora should punish the girl as it would only make the others suspicious. And Eleonora gets frantically nervous, worried about Edwin and Alicia getting closer. However, Yumiella reassures her, saying a commoner can't marry into the royal family, to which Eleonora easily accepts with a childlike demeanor. But Yumiella knows she just lied, because if Alicia defeats the Demon King, the king will regard her as the second coming of the saint and have her marry the prince. To keep things peaceful, Yumiella convinces Eleonora to ignore Alicia. Eleonora wonders why Yumiella is helping her out so much, so Yumiella lies again, saying that she's praying for Eleonora and Edwin to find happiness together. And Eleonora eats this up, delusionally daydreaming, thinking everyone with eyes thinks her and Edwin belong together. But for Yumiella, this is mission accomplished. Stop the bullying of Alicia and protect the responsible parties. Later, Patrick tells Yumiella he was expecting her to turn the culprit in, thinking Edwin scolding Eleonora would resolve everything. Yumiella couldn't help but think though that the blue-haired girl could have been her. What if a version of Yumiella who kept her dark magic secret and never did any leveling up lived in some other world? If her parents told her to befriend other nobles, she might have been desperate to get into Eleonora's clique. Yumiella could have been Eleonora's #1 underling. She tells all of this figurative scenario while thinking about Yumiella's bullying of Alicia in the game, and how upon getting caught, Eleonora had thrown her out of the group. She's certain there would have been no one left by her side. She'd hate her parents, hate Eleonora, hate Alicia. Because her and Alicia have diametrically opposing elements, Alicia is loved by all, while Yumiella is loved by none. This leaves Yumiella to ponder on the idea that maybe Yumiella in the game was actually a victim in society all along. Even if that Yumiella were to level up and get stronger, light is strong against dark. Thinking about the end of the game, where Alicia would actually kill her. She tells Patrick considering all these what-ifs made her want to help the blue-haired girl. But when we see Patrick shaken to his core, Yumiella asks him what's wrong. He's sad because there's no difference between the Yumiella he knows now and the hypothetical one, except that this Yumiella is a higher level. He asks if she has anyone on her side, wonders if she hates this world because if she does, Patrick wants to, but before he can answer, Yumiella says it's alright, since she has an acquaintance to talk to every now and then, referring to him. As Yumiella heads out, she feels getting a conversation partner was hard enough. She doesn't know if she'll ever make a friend, and can't even imagine getting a romantic partner. All while Patrick sits down saying to himself, an acquaintance, huh? A few days later, Eleonora comes to greet Yumiella. She's been following Yumiella around since the bullying incident, and inviting her to tea every single day for the last 3 days. Yumiella tries to bail out, saying she has things to do. She's genuinely scared because Eleonora keeps following behind her and continually laughing with cheer. She thinks back to when the queen mentioned the leader of the anti-king faction to be Duke Hilrose, Eleonora's father, something Yumiella would like to not be close to. As Eleonora continues to follow with glee, Yumiella can't help but think she needs to reject the girl, even if she ends up getting hate. She tells Eleonora to stop inviting her to tea. Eleonora wonders why, especially because she has delicious sweets to share too. Oh no, Yumiella's level 99 weakness. She explains that if these two are chummy, Edwin won't like Eleonora, and Eleonora can't have that, so she asks Yumiella for help, which doesn't make sense at all. Yumiella then goes along with Eleonora because it'll make her happy. She has Yumiella try some snacks, asking how they are. With Yumiella munching, she doesn't think they're too bad, but not too good either. Eleonora exclaims she made those herself. Yes, this is Yumiella's chance to get Eleonora to hate her and get her off her back. Yumiella lays it in, saying, "Ah, no wonder. I thought it tasted kind of disgusting." The room goes silent. Yumiella played her cards right. Knowing if she said they were good, Eleonora would get clingy again. "Come, Eleonora, get mad." Unfortunately, she does the opposite, saying Yumiella is absolutely right while smiling brightly. These cookies were a failed batch. However, all of Eleonora's friends say they're the most delicious things in the world. She shakes Yumiella's hands up and down, happy because Yumiella is the only one who tells her the truth. Oh man, I think Yumiella picked the wrong dialogue option. She asks Eleonora why she started baking, and we learn Alicia gives Prince Edwin homemade sweets. So, Eleonora wanted to try her hand at it too. Yumiella steals her resolve, as she needs to make Eleonora absolutely hate her so she can be left alone. Yumiella tells her there's no way Eleonora could ever make a delicious cookie. But Eleonora replies, "Yes, of course," happily exclaiming she only tried because her friends said she should, but it's not something she'd normally do to begin with. Yumiella only finds herself dumbfounded, as Eleonora cheers Yumiella for understanding her so well. The harder Yumiella tries to make Eleonora hate her, the more she keeps earning affection. Eleonora knows all her friends think she could never make a mistake because she's so perfect. If her friends ever differ in opinion, they immediately decide themselves that they are in the wrong and Eleonora is right. But Yumiella knows it's because they don't want to get on her bad side. Eleonora is so gullible. Yumiella worries someone may be trying to manipulate her into getting rid of Alicia. She asks Eleonora about the book stealing incident from the other day, which gets her to look away with remorse. However, we learn that Eleonora does feel bad about it, but no one is really controlling her. Yumiella doesn't think Eleonora is a bad girl at heart. She tells her not to trust her friends so easily. and Eleonora thinks it's no problem if Yumiella becomes her friend. She wants to get all sorts of advice from Yumiella on how to make Edwin hers. Another few days later, as Yumiella relaxes by doing some book reading, Eleonora barges in because she's here to visit. Rita had let her in because she can't refuse the daughter of Duke Hilrose. In the halls, Patrick explains he doesn't think Eleonora is a bad person either. Maybe she's someone Yumiella can be genuine friends with. As Yumiella tries to take off, Patrick asks if she's going to the end of school year party, but she isn't really interested. She thinks about the event, remembering it to be a soiree meant to help practice for joining high society, something she would like to skip out on. In the game, it includes an event where the heroine leaves the party with a character who has the highest affection rating, which actually gets Yumiella intrigued since it's her chance to be sure that Alicia is following Edwin's route. Eleonora suddenly appears asking what dress Yumiella is wearing to the party. She learns she needs to wear a fancier dress, and she needs a dance partner. Eleonora suggests it be Patrick. Yumiella replies Patrick has nothing to do with her. In Yumelia's room, Rita is shocked, dropping her duster, hearing Yumiella wants to actually wear a dress. She tells Yumiella she's going to do her makeup too. Rita opens up the closet only to reveal frilly, childlike dresses sent from her mother. She can't go to the party wearing any of these. However, she wonders if she'd be missing out on something, with Patrick in mind. Looks like Yumiella got a present from the Queen. Is it everything that she needed for the party? At the end of year party, everyone's flabbergasted at the sight of Yumiella and Eleonora walking together. Yumiella spots Alicia surrounded by the guys, aware that the romance route event hasn't even triggered yet. Eleonora asks if Yumiella asked Patrick to escort her, and Yumiella wonders why she keeps bringing up Patrick. But when Patrick sees her, it's like Yumiella is glowing in beauty. Patrick blushes at the sight of our graceful Villainess. Eleonora takes the hint and tells them she doesn't want to get in their way. However, Yumiella still feels that she and Patrick are only acquaintances, nothing special. Patrick says he's glad she came, but Yumiella feels like leaving as she's kind of embarrassed wearing this dress. We can see, however, that he can't take his eyes off of her, and when Yumiella asks him what's wrong, he looks away saying it's nothing. They then hear William and Oswald shout that Edwin and Alicia are missing, and they run to search for the two. So Yumelia's gotten her wish, finding out what route Alicia chose. We see Alicia dragging Edwin out to the balcony, so quickly he's out of breath, knowing the two of them ditched Will and Oz. Alicia happily exclaims she just wanted to show him where the stars were the brightest. Back at the party, Yumiella tells Patrick it's time for her to leave, but he grabs her hand, telling her to wait. They stare face to face, as if no one else is in this room with them at this moment. Patrick politely asks her for just one dance, making Yumelia's jaw drop. Well, drop as far as it can, I mean. She just thinks he looks so noble right now. As she responds by reaching out her hand to his, she wants to say something like, with pleasure, to match his grace. But she only utters the words, sure. Darn, her natural self sounds so curt. Patrick is okay with it though, because this is how she always is. With the two dancing, Yumiella feels so mismatched. She's envious of Patrick for taking the lead flawlessly. He tries to ease her by telling her to relax, and that it's okay if she steps on his toes. He then pulls her in closer, and as they continue to dance, Yumiella notices her body moving so smoothly. She's actually having fun. She wonders why, but just accepts it without any more thoughts. The people are enamored at the sight of the two's beautiful dancing. Yumiella notices them and wonders if they're staring because they think her dress is stained with the blood of her enemies. Silly Yumiella. Patrick dismisses this though. He tells her the real reason. It's because she looks beautiful. Yumiella can only half of a what? She's telling herself to calm down. She's not the type to swing between giddy and depressed over what she thinks are empty compliments. But her palms are getting sweaty and she has no idea what to do. She tells Patrick he shouldn't lie. That would make people distrust him. But he just answers that she's kind of dense. She's getting flustered because she can't come up with clever responses to empty compliments. But Patrick then says maybe he's the one who's been dense all along, saying, I finally realized it today that I... However, the crowd clapping interrupts his words, giving Yumiella the chance to step back and wipe her sweaty palms. He doesn't look happy though, considering he couldn't say what we all knew he was gonna say. Another guy comes over to ask Yumiella for a dance, which gets Patrick down even more. However, She only intends to dance with Patrick, so she delivers her usual finisher, "I'm only into people who are stronger than me," making the guy run away in fear. But oh no, Patrick catches this, muttering the phrase, "into people who are stronger." Will he ever get his feelings across to Yumiella? Find out next week by subscribing to my channel. For now though, watch this next video. It's me, ComfyTea. I'll see you all in the next one.